Good morning. So welcome back to another Chatting with Wisdom. So Chatting with Wisdom is hosted by me, Geegado, Megwan, which means Talking Feather Woman, and that's my earth. Rollie, Allaire is my earth name, and I'm a holistic life and wellness coach. And I empower women to stand in their truth so that they feel fulfilled and can achieve all their desires. I work with successful women who feel misunderstood and disempowered in relationships and stand in their truth so that they can communicate with confidence. So join me in a Stand in Your Truth call where we'll explore what's blocking you from communicating with confidence in your personal relationships. And so every Sunday, I pull 3 messages from various decks to share as a collective, answering the question, what do we need to know this week? So here we're going to share what we need to know for March 19th, 2023. So these messages are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and replays are available on various podcast sites, weekly oracle card messages, and the weekly oracle card messages are also available on TikTok. So if you're seeing me in this message, then it means that we are live right here, right now. So I just wanted to jump in. It's been a couple of weeks since I have been on. If you want to be able to have your own personalized message, you need to come and find me on YouTube or on Inside Mind, Body, Heart, and Soul Connection Facebook group, and I can add you to the weekly list. So if you hashtag weekly, I will actually give you a message every week, and so you will just be able to come back and jump in for the replays. And so if you're on TikTok, then you're going to be catching the first 10 minutes of this, and then I will disappear. And so I have not been on for a couple of weeks. We had our women's conference 2 weeks ago, and then last week we had a new grandson. So I did not have a chance to be able to jump in. I was helping with being able to care for a little baby, so I was enjoying some time with Clark and doing some Nukum cuddles. And so Nukum means grandmother, and so it actually means my grandmother. And so although other people may be referring to me, we're just sticking with Nukum. So super excited, and I can't wait to be able to share. So today we are doing Native Spirit Oracle deck. I haven't pulled from this one in a while, and so I'm going to start off with our first 3 messages. And our first 3 messages is for the collective. So if you are not receiving your own personalized message, then you can be added to the list. If you're catching this on the podcast, because I will be sharing it out onto the podcast, then if you send me a message, then I can definitely get your name added, so that when you're listening to it, you can come back and listen to the whole thing. So I am going to be sharing our first group message. So our first group message is ancestors. So connecting with our ancestors is extremely important. And so ancestors mean people who've been here past. So it could be somebody who's recently passed. It could be somebody who has passed a long time ago, or people that you may not even know that are in part of your ancestry. So being able to connect with our ancestors, they have a lot of wisdom that they're able to share with us. And so I sometimes have people that say, oh yeah, well, talking to our ancestors, then that's like really bad, and that's not really good. And I'm not here to debate whether it's good or it's bad, but our ancestors are who it is. And so these same people will actually talk to their dead relatives and say, oh, I really miss you, and I can't wait to see you again, and blah, 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 like that kind of thing. And so it's no different, except for that we use the word ancestor, and then it puts people into a different thought pattern. And so, but it's no different. And so, or at least not in my opinion. So that's just my opinion. Storyteller. So there are so many stories that we have running through our mind. Some of them are not necessarily stories that are still relevant. Some stories are stories that we need to make changes to, that we don't have to keep living those same stories. However, we do have some stories that have replayed of success, of positiveness of all the things that we need. And so that is one of the things in terms of being able to share your story, being able to have that connection. And that's one of the things that I love about the women's conference is that we had a couple of weeks ago, is that people got to share their story. So whether it was the presenters or people who were attending that had that opportunity to be able to share what it is that came up for them or some of their experiences or things that were going on. So I love that component of it, because sharing our stories also makes a huge difference. And so this week we start Soulful Life Hacks again. We restart as part of the spring equinox, which is tomorrow, and then the new moon falls on Tuesday, new moon in Aries. And so it's a brand new season, a brand new year for me in terms of being able to connect with the moon energy. And so, yeah, super exciting week. And so Sweat Lodge. So the Sweat Lodge is all about healing and being able to cleanse ourselves and our souls. And so you can attend a sweat lodge, or you can actually go within and participate in the things that you need to be doing for yourself. And it's about cleansing and clearing. So whatever it is that looks like for you, meditating, connecting to yourself, and being able to have that wisdom within you, that you already know what it is that you have, and you already know what it is that you're doing. And so it is extremely important for us to be able to. Good morning, Kelly. And so I am super excited to have you here. And so, but it's just about being able to do that healing and being able to have that connection and having that support. And so one of the things that is really important to me is community. And so we continue with community based on, so all of the programs that I have are based in a community. So even like a 6-week course, for example, then you still have community to be able to come back into. A lot of times I do them live, so that other people have the opportunity to be able to come in. I don't generally, sometimes I do, but I don't generally do lessons without having some form of interaction. But I do have some programs that it is just lesson based, and then I just teach and then I come back. But most of it is done in community, because community is really, really important. And that's the other significance for me is the Sweat Lodge, is that typically you don't go in without having that support and that connection. So on that note, those are our 3 messages for this week. So we've got the ancestors, storyteller, and the Sweat Lodge are our messages. And so then I'm going to disappear out of all these other places. And so if you're catching this on the podcast, I am leaving various live spaces. So I'm going to say goodbye to people on my personal page. So if you are expecting a message and you want to be able to receive a message, then join me inside Mind, Body, Heart, and Soul Connection, or on YouTube, and you'll be able to. So I will chat with you guys later. And I'm going to say goodbye on Rollie, Allaire Holistic Life and Wellness Center, or Rollie, Allaire Holistic Life and Wellness Coach page. And then I'm going to say goodbye to my friends on LinkedIn. And so if you're still here, you're either on YouTube or you are inside the Facebook group. So, and so if you're watching this on TikTok, you actually got to watch me transition outside of that. So I am going to get started with the messages for everyone individually. So the first person that I'm going to start with is Diane, and she's got a jumper. So Diane Linden, because there's more than one Diane in the group. So Diane, your message, I am super excited that you actually got to have a family gathering. So we are going out for dinner today with our family and new baby and mom, so long as mom's feeling up to it, because it's all about her. And so the first message for you, Diane, is Grandmother Earth. I have never heard of the earth being referred to as grandmother. So that's actually kind of interesting that this author of this deck refers to the earth as grandmother, because earth has always been Mother Earth to me and part of the teachings that I've had. So it's about being able to, but for whatever reason, it's grandmother. And Spirit Keeper of the North is your other message. So you've got these two messages. So you've got Grandmother Earth and Spirit of the North. And so and it's about the earth. So you've got like this awakening thing that's happening. So you've got like the two images that are actually happening within. And so you've got like things are brightening up, things are, and this one here was your jumper. And so, yeah, I had to think, okay, which one was on the ground on the thing? So this one here was, so it's that awakening. It's that like, wow, rejuvenation. And I'm not sure exactly when it came out of the deck, but it was around the time that I was talking about the fact that you actually got to gather. But like Grandmother Earth, or Mother Earth as I refer to her, uses winter to be able to cover and to, she blankets us with snow, and it provides the earth with new water. It provides the earth with a blanket to be able to protect the earth beneath it so that things can still continue to grow because there's still that warmth. So it gives that blanket of things to grow. And then the next image shows the flowers. So anyway, yeah, hope that resonates with you. So those are your messages for this week. So Kimberly, so if you are catching this and it is still Sunday, then just a quick message that Soulful Life Hacks starts this week. And so if you wanted to participate in Soulful Life Hacks, the doors are open for right now. And then otherwise you get put on you can still sign up, but then you get put on a wait list until the next season opens. And so, but if you want to come and join us with the live, then I invite you to come and join me. And so again, one of the other things too is that prices are going to be going up for the next season. So just giving people the heads up with that as well. So if people are like, oh, well, maybe I want to wait, just letting you know that that's still an option, but the price is definitely going to be going up. We have been at the same price for 3 years. It'll be 3 years. And so, yeah. So, Kimberly, you've got the talking stick. So it is your turn to talk. It is your turn to share. It is your turn to be able to voice whatever it is that you have that you want to be able to go. And your jumper was a spirit of fire. So fire is about being able to take action and doing things. So you've got the talking stick and you've got the fire. And so how ironic is it that you have those two where you actually are going to be able to have the talking stick to be able to share what it is that's going on for you and how things are happening. So I'm not sure whose eyeball is still on because there's only one eyeball right now. So let me know who it is so that I know who's talking to me or who's listening to me. Okay, so Sabrina is next. And Sabrina, I will send more Reiki healing. Oh, you've got the praying feather. So praying feather. So being able to ask Spirit, what is it that we need? What do you need right now to be able to get healing? And I love how they actually have this portrayed is actually up in a tree. So then when the wind is blowing, hey, Christine. So when the wind is blowing, it actually allows us to be able to, the feathers get to move inside the air and be able to clean up. So Marguerite is on next. So Marguerite, Francine's mama. So Francine's mama has medicine bag. So the medicine bag is whatever it is that we want to be able to put in there. So the medicine bag allows us to be able to have healing. It allows us to be able to take whatever medicines that we need. And our medicine bag will contain what it is that we need. And so these are things that we potentially have been putting in. So for some people, physically, it may be some crystals, it may be feathers, it may be a momentum from somebody else. It may be something that reminds you of being able to stay focused of what it is that you need to. It may be a memento that connects you to somebody else. It could be part of the sacred medicines. So the 4 sacred medicines, it could be, and it could just be things that emotionally that we're putting into them. So part of our toolbox. So that medicine bag will look different for different people. So put what you need, remove what you don't, and be able to provide you with that. So, and then, so next up is Jennifer. So I have been working on the members portal on the new system. And so that is one of the things that is happening. So Jennifer, your message, freedom horse. So be able to just run in the direction that you want to be able to go, be free, and do the things that you want to. It is so hard for us to be able to be stuck in what it is that is going on and all the expectations that we put on ourselves or that others put on us. And so just being able to release those self-imposed or those imposed expectations so that you can actually move on through to the next. So next we have Kelly, who has a jumper, and Kelly was on, but she must have been on the other. Walking in beauty. So being able to just look at all the things that are marvelous around us. So being able to pay attention to the things that are there, the way that the sun is shining, the way that things are lighting up, whatever it is that's going on. And then we've got the Northern Lights on this one, the Great Mystery. So you've got Walking in Beauty and the Great Mystery. That is showing and sharing what it is that you have. And both of them have like this radiant light on both of them for people that are actually catching the podcast. You guys can't see this radiant light that's coming from both of these two cards. And so it is about being able to tap in within. And so some of our biggest challenges are part of our greatest gifts. And sometimes that's hard for us to be able to, when we're in the thick of whatever it is that's going on for us in our life, that we have that. Okay, so that is your message, Kelly. Francine is next. So Francine, medicine woman or medicine man. So it's about healing, being able to connect with the people who are going to help you through whatever journey that is going on. And that can be somebody formal, or it can be somebody completely informal. It can be somebody in a group. It can be somebody in your connection. And so that is that message is that there is some medicine out there, and there's somebody who you are going to connect with that's going to help you with your healing to be able to get you into that next and into that next thing. And so, okay. So then Cindy is next. So Cindy's message for this week is Spirit Keeper of the East. So things open up in the East as part of the medicine wheel and as part of my teachings is that, and again, different medicine wheels will start in different directions and go in a different direction. But the teachings that I have is that we always start in the East. So this is the spring equinox. It's all new. It's all changed. And then with the spring equinox is also the new moon. So we've got the new moon and the spring equinox that are all happening at the same time. And so in that same time frame, and when with the new moon, it's also the new moon in Aries. So Aries is about action taking and getting things done. And so we've got these three things that are happening simultaneously in this. And so within the medicine wheel, it's the Spirit Keeper of the East. So being able to connect with newness, new beginnings, changes. Sometimes those are not necessarily, changes are not necessarily the things that we are looking for specifically, but it is definitely part of that newness. And so Melanie is next, and she's got a jumper. And so usually I have cards that just give us like just a one quick message that doesn't need a whole lot of explanation. And so these ones here are my interpretation. So if I go and look in the book, what I have just said may or may not be in the book, may not be part of that connection, but I go with what is it that intuitively is coming up for me when I see these messages. So Melanie, you have the owl medicine. So owl medicine is wise. It is about being able to have that wisdom. It's about being able to see things from all directions, right? An owl can actually turn their head in, I don't know if they can actually spin it around, but they can actually turn their head far enough that they can actually see all the directions of what it is. So owl medicine is definitely wise, and that is your connection for this week. And then you've also got the prayer feather. So being able to put your messages out to up and out. And so in my teachings is tobacco down, prayers up, right? So you put your tobacco down in order to be able to give the offering, and then being able to send your prayers up to Creator, up to Spirit, up to whoever it is, your angels, God. And so being able to put that out there. So next we have Marianne. So Marianne's message is Warrior of the Heart, and it's the bear. And so the bear usually means healing. So the bear is a healer. And so being able to, so like specifically, this is a polar bear walking in the winter. And so warrior of the heart. And so being able to warm up our heart, being able to go within, being able to find peace within our own selves is where you are going to get the healing that you need this week. So tap into your heart, tap into your heart and get what it is that you need that way. So the next person that we have is Angie. So Angie, you have, this was a jumper for you. So Spirit Keeper of the North. And you've also got the Circle of Life. So things go around, right? So one of the things that when I teach about the circles is that, so we always hold sacred circle in whatever groups or whatever programs that I have, because there's not one person who is more important than anyone else. So I may lead a group, but I am not any more important than anybody else. I learn from everyone else in the circle. I learn from everybody else in my surroundings. And so that circle of life is that reminder that there's no end, there's no end and no beginning, right? So even if so we've had a new birth in our family, and so that's that new beginning of that circle of life, but people are going to come and go within all of our circles, and so that's that no end and no beginning, and it's just a revolving circle of the things that are actually going in. And so Spirit Keeper of the North is that being able to connect. Was it Spirit Keeper of the North? No, it wasn't. It was actually of the East, wasn't it? So this is the North. So the North is usually means wisdom. The North means that our elders and being able to connect with that wisdom. And so in our age group, we are in that category of in that northern part. We are in those like we're still pretty young, Angie, but in comparison, but we're still moving into that stage, right? So moving into, like, biologically, we're moving into the grandmother stage. Biologically, we're moving into that next phase of, we may be moving into retirement. Some people may be moving into retirement. We're still too young, but we're getting closer to those steps, and we're moving into that. So when we actually look on the medicine wheel, and we've got the 4 stages of life. So we've got the infant, then we've got the child, then we've got the child or teenager, and then we've got the adult, and then we've got the seniors, right? So we've got this circle that is actually going on as well in terms of that. And so the northern part is about that wisdom and being able to tap in. So maybe you need to reach out to somebody who is older. Maybe you need to tap into some of your ancestors, whatever it is. But being able to tap into that wisdom is where you're wanting to go with that. So that is Angie. So now Sherry is next. Oh my gosh. Try that again. You've got lots of messages, Sherry. So you've got the tribal spirit dancer. So the tribal spirit dancer is about being able to, like, dancing with spirit, being able to, like, tapping into our own resources and being able to connect. We have all the tools that we need, even for those of us who are younger. We have all the tools that we need. Our souls have come forward with the tools that we need. And so it's just really important for us to be able to bring forward what it is that we need. And so being able to tap in and dancing and using music and sound. And so since the conference, I created a playlist that I use in the morning based on recommendations from the different speakers, as well as things that are important to me. So I've created a playlist that I start up every morning. So when one of our alarms go off, so whether it's my husband's or mine, then it's triggered to turn on the this morning sound and being able to play these songs that are actually going on. The other thing that you have is shapeshifter. So the shapeshifter reminds us that we can move about whatever way that we need to. We can actually shift into whatever ways that we need to. So if you can see, and it's really hard probably to see in the video for anybody who's watching, but like over on this one side there is I'm not sure if it's a deer. It looks like a deer. And so like you can actually see it in the corner that's there. And so it is right here. And so when I'm actually looking at it through here, then I don't know if I can make it closer. No, I can't. But it has a deer that's in there and it just kind of blends in. So like everything, the landscaping is blending in with the sky and the moon and all these different things that are actually going on. And then you've got the dream traveler. And so for this one here is there are things that you are being told while you're sleeping that is reminding you of what it is that you need. And so it has, this particular image has some water flowing, and that water flow is reminding you that things keep moving. And the one expression that I really love is you never enter the same river twice. And so who it was that you were when a certain situation was happening or a certain circumstance was happening is you're not that same person. We never step into the same river twice because the river continues to flow. And so you evolve, you change, you shift. And so when you're stepping into the water, it is something new. So that's that reminder. And Melissa. So Melissa's message is the white buffalo. So the white buffalo is very sacred, and I don't have, and I believe that it's, if I'm not mistaken, the buffalo comes in the northern part of the medicine wheel, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm going off the top of my head. But the white buffalo is very sacred. So buffaloes are very sacred, but white buffaloes specifically are the ones that they're harder to find. I don't even know if they, I'm not sure if they are in extinction or in our area, or if they are close to extinction. But I'm going to, this one here, I'm going to draw some wisdom from the book, because wisdom, healing, and being able to stand on our stand solid with the things that we want in life is what is coming up for me. But I'm having a little bit of doubt. And not doubt, but thinking that there might be something else. Nope, there you go. Abundance and security are flowing into your life. So it's about that stability, about being able to be strong. And so all things are possible. Balance and harmony prevail. You may be called upon to stand up for others, but you can do this. But you can do this because you have the support of many beings in the spirit realm. And I don't know if it talks about so this author talks about a legend. So she talks about a legend of the white buffalo calf woman. A mystical being came to the people a very long time ago when they were out of balance. She gifted the people with a sacred bundle containing the white buffalo calf pipe to help restore the balance. Upon leaving, the white buffalo calf woman prophesized that she will return at the end of an age and that she will appear as a white buffalo calf In recent times, white buffalo calves have been born, leading many to believe that this is the beginning of a new time. When this card chooses you, it's an honor, for it speaks of a time of miracles and balance in all things. You are a channel for the greater forces in the universe. With their help, all is possible, but without it, things can be a struggle. Surrender to support from the Great Spirit. You do not have to do everything alone. So, yeah. So there's your message, Melissa. So I guess that's the reason why. So yes, it was about strength and that determination and that being able to like stand within. But there's lots of shifts and changes, and being able to stand in your power, but being able to not have to go it alone is also really important. So Lori, Blair, you got the owl medicine as well. So owl medicine is about being able to be wise and being able to have that connection. And so I'm not sure whether or not you guys can see the heart shape of that owl. And I didn't notice it when it was pulled for somebody else, but there's a heart shape of the owl's face. So it's that love and compassion and connection. And so like, if you look at the eyes have that center, and it draws you into that balance. So being able to tap into your own inner wisdom and connecting with others, Lori, is definitely where things will be helpful for you this week. And so Sharon is next. So Sharon, the Spirit Keeper of the West. So you've got the Spirit Keeper of the West. And so the West is about change, right? So we've got your new beginnings in the East, and then you've got change. So some change may be happening for you in this week, or maybe it even started last week. But there's some change coming, and there's some shifts and some things that you need to restructure in order for you to be able to find balance. So Darlene is next. Christine, is that you that's still on? Or are you still on? Because apparently you're last but not least. So Darlene, your message is the talking stick. So use your voice. Use your voice, whatever it is that you need to be sharing. You need to be able to talk about what it is that you have going on. So use your voice and share what it is that you're doing. So last but not least is Christine. So Christine's message for this week is Ancient Forest. So being able to connect to the earth, and so like if you can actually see, one of the things when I see forest, I see all the trees. And so for me, trees is community. Like the forest is community, and that connection is community. And so there's some rays of light that comes in and shines within the trees. And so it's that inner wisdom of like, so you've got the dark shades around, and then you've got this light that glows and shines within. So whether it's the moonlight or the sunlight, it's coming through to be able to help guide you to the next step. And so in community. And so those are our messages for this week. And I will be back on next week to be able to share some more messages. And yeah, so I will chat soon. Bye for now. Talk to everybody later.